Welcome back to Under Oath. I'm attorney Jeff Kaufman. Sitting next to me is my partner in crime, James Jean.
Hello.
A celebrity in his own right.
I am not.
Oh, come on. There are more people have pictures of your butt than everybody I know.
That's a shame, and that's a true statement, by the way. That's such a true statement.
People can go, OnlyFans? No.
No.
That's a stand-up.
Oh, my gosh.
I actually had friends who thought they came up with very important lines.
Oh.
Like, what's up?
Yeah.
I actually had a friend of mine who was married to a good friend of mine who she was absolutely positive she came up with what's up.
No.
And we kind of just looked at her every time she would say it.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody did.
Yeah, somebody did come up with that.
And they're going to say, well, Martin did it. Somebody did it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because every time you do that, it's like a song. And they go, well, that song was actually sang in 1920. Here's the same thing.
It came from this, and it became that later.
Like when I do a superhero character, some people go, well, that reminds me of this. Everything reminds you of something.
It does. Well, let me ask you a quick question, a legal question.
Sure.
You are a creator with comic books, and you come up with characters all the time. If you come up with an idea for a character, what's the system that you use to make sure it's not something that you've been exposed to earlier in life or another person's property? Do you Google? What do you do? How do you work that out?
The first thing you do is take the name.
Okay.
You look up the name.
Yes.
Because you want a name that you could create a website for, a name that's not being used already. Like, I can't go, hey, Spider-Man.
No, you can't. No.
Like, I'm doing a book called Totem right now. And the character got his power from a source I call the Totem.
Yeah.
Totem has been used in many different things, many different interpretations. So it's not locked in.
No, it's not.
The character calls himself Totem. That's never there. Before I created it, there was no character called Totem.
Correct.
So that's something. Gabriel Tempest. That was a vampire character I did. I had to look that up. Ian Baker. Well, it's a generic name. I don't have to worry about it. But you do have to do some research.
Got it.
Now, I had somebody come up to me at a convention. I was doing a panel.
Okay.
And he goes, you did that vampire book called Tempest. Yeah. He goes, I think that's my character.
Okay.
I said, well, all right, well, tell me. And he goes, well, I had a police officer, an idea. I had an idea about a police officer who was a vampire. And, I said, well, did you ever publish it? Well, no. He goes, but I drew some pictures and I put them on the internet.
Oh,
I said, that's interesting. When did you create this character? And he goes, about 2006. I said, well, Tempest I wrote in 2005, but let's just say you did it before me. So you can agree you did not create this character in 1995.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, it was 2006. I said, well, there's a TV show called Midnight Sun. It was a German show where the vampire was a police officer. Yeah. So did you steal it from them? And the dude just kind of looked at me.
Oh, eyes wide, like.
You know that your character is not original and it was made here, but that's the good thing. There are basically no original characters anymore.
No.
Everything flows off a story. Oh, well, I wrote a Twilight Zone that had this. Every idea we come up with that we think is fresh or new could be something we saw before, or it could be just something that was so, let's say, generic that anybody could come up with it. Time travel.
Yes.
Is time travel new? Well, time travel, you probably go back to stories people told about time travelers from the 1800s or the 70s. Yeah. I mean, every story is in its way bastardizing something else. Yes. But if I go, hey, this is Mickey Mouse, not great.
Yeah, you can't even say it 3 times because Disney will burst in here.
Well, it depends on what version, because we now know you can use the Steamboat Willie.
You can't Steamboat Willie's.
You can, certain things could go into the public domain, but it's almost impossible to come up with something so original. Now, I've had scene for scene stolen from me, where somebody took my work and copied it and put it in another venue, and I've looked at them and go, dude, this is the whole scene.
It's blatant. Yeah,
it's not like you stole an idea. You took the whole scene panel for panel. What the hell? And he might have done it unintentionally. He might have been thinking, hey, this is a good idea. Like, I'll see a movie I saw like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'll see an idea and I go, oh my God, did I borrow that moment? It's not the exact thing,
But you're like, oh, I can see how.
Or like even a saying.
Yeah.
Like I use a term all the time called "party's over," and I say that to Jacob, my son. He's autistic, and I always, when he's going a little nuts or it's a long day, I'm like, "Hey, party's over," and now he says it. Party's over, and it's so funny when he says it that yes, he did take it from me, but his is better than mine.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, you can do things, and you never know where it came from. And it's really difficult to prove that something is a generic idea because even this guy was so dead set that I stole his character, even though mine was a criminal prosecutor, his was a police officer. He didn't realize police officer vampire had already been taken.
Already existed out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was so positive, and he looked at me. I said, Google it. It's a German show. I don't know, it was Midnight Sun or something like that, but he Googled it and he was like devastated.
Oh.
And I'm going, it's okay. You can write your own version.
Yes.
There's no limit to it. Police officer vampire. Okay. Now, if you want to steal things directly from the show, that's a problem.
That's wrong. Yeah.
You want to take the name, you want to do these things, you want to put them in Germany, you want to do, you could have a problem.
Yeah.
But normally your own take on something is your own take.
Original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we hope we help those creators out there who want to do great stuff.
And I think that's a good conversation to have because there's people out there who wonder that.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. Well, I got a great Legally Screwed for you today, sir. I was hit by someone driving for Uber Eats, but they were not delivering food yet. The driver had the app open, but hadn't accepted an order when they caused the crash. Does Uber's insurance apply, or is this treated like any other accident?
Ooh, that's a tough call.
That is tough.
Well, if you're in between jobs, there's to normally sue on a policy that involves work or something like that, or your job or something, you have to be technically on the clock.
Yes.
People from Uber Eats are independent contractors, but some of them have insurance based on Uber and everything else like that. And the question is this, was it a break? Was it this? How long between it? If I'm just driving my car to the supermarket and I'm not doing a delivery.
Yeah.
No, not normally. But you have regular insurance. You have regular car insurance.
True.
But here's the thing: you could it could be a small deviate. I was waiting. I was online doing it. Yes, you were working. You were getting another order.
Because he was looking in his app.
Just because you weren't delivering something at that time didn't mean you weren't taking a small break from it or something else.
Gotcha.
Depending on the state you're in, there's deviations. Like, if it's an hour, something else. But if you're just, I was logging onto the app. The question is, were you logging on while you were driving?
Driving, yeah. That's what I was going to say.
Too many distractions, people. Too many distractions.
Put the phone down.
I would say it's a fair argument to make that you were working.
Yeah.
And when I say on the clock, you're technically not an hourly employee or a salaried employee. You get paid, but you're a gig employee.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, I think it would apply. I don't think you were so far off of what you were supposed to be doing. It wasn't like you were driving, Disney World.
Gotcha.
You were in between.
You were in between
gigs. Let's call it.
So let me take the conversation a little further. Let's say it's a normal Uber and it's not Uber Eats. Let's say I'm in a Uber and he gets into an accident and I get injured.
Yeah.
Where does that go?
The insurance. It goes straight. Uber requires people to get insurance.
Okay.
And a lot of people get hurt in Ubers. And people are going to go, why are you going after Uber? You're not going after Uber. The fact is this, it's like a taxi cab. It's the same concept. You're in a car. You are definitely not the reason who caused the accident. You're not the reason for the accident.
So
you didn't reach over and grab the wheel.
No, you didn't.
You didn't distract the driver.
Gotcha.
The fact is I'm a passenger. The same way if I'm in your hotel and I get hurt in your hotel, I'm a client.
Correct. Yes.
You're supposed to protect me. I have rights to security, and when you crash the car, that's on you.
Does it matter if the Uber driver is not at fault, that other driver is? Do you then go after that driver's insurance company?
Well, you're going to go after both. Because
okay.
Most likely they have what they call uninsured motorist. In Florida, it's terrible because a lot of people have no insurance or they have low insurance.
Bad insurance.
There are states like New York that have minimum $50,000
yes.
Injury policies, which allow you to get $50,000 in medical.
Yeah.
Their PI is $50,000, while Florida is only 10. So you can get proper medical attention in New York that you can't get in Florida a lot of times. So yes, when you have to go through that insurance first, and then you can go after the uninsured motorist on the Uber.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So
but
wow.
It's not unusual that in Florida they go, well, unless the Uber got rear-ended, for example.
Okay.
Let's say they find the Uber 5% responsible for the accident.
Okay.
Then they are 5% responsible for your damages.
Okay.
So yes, it doesn't have to be that 100% number. But as a passenger, you are definitely not responsible unless you did something.
Yeah.
Unless you like thrown up in the back of the car or something or stuff
okay.
like that. So
Got it.
that's the way that plays out. When I was a younger attorney, I hated personal injury.
Why?
Because I thought what other people thought.
Oh.
I was actually jaded by my own, let's say, beliefs.
Bias.
Yeah. I thought personal injury, ambulance chasers and everything else like that until somebody I knew got hurt badly. And that's the rule. You hate attorneys. You hate them. The scum of the earth. You hate everything about them. Everything they do makes you sick. Looking at those billboards with those big fat faces make you crazy until somebody hits you. And then you're going, God, who do I call? Who do I need?
Yeah.
And the reason why those billboards exist and everything is because the fact is that you are going to go with who you remember. I have good friends of mine who have gone with the high advertising law firms because that was the first thing in their head. It wasn't, oh, Jeff does this for a living. They've been trained to hire the name. And I still practice law. I try cases all over the country. I'm not just the face on my billboard.
No, you are a lawyer that actually still does it. Yeah.
Ask an attorney, hey, how many depots did you do this week?
That's right.
Depositions. How many hearings did you have? How many times were you in front of a judge this week? And the majority of people in my position who are the named partner in their firm and they're on the billboards and everything else, the answer is probably none. Because you are focusing on the advertisement for your office. You have watched me do the show where I will come out of a deposition to come sit in this chair to do this.
Yes.
And then I'll go back to another hearing.
Yes.
And I'm fortunate. I work with the best people in the world.
There you go.
The people in my office are so fantastic. They take care of me. I couldn't do anything without them. I mean, when I say I've worked with thousands of people, I had offices where, we've probably cycled through 1,000, 2,000 attorneys. And when you get a team that cares and does what they need to do, you're just fortunate.
You're blessed.
So I have that, and they have me on such a short leash.
I've seen it. Yeah.
I'm locked in to the 5-10 minute increment.
Yeah, you are.
Where in a day they go, what'd you do? I said, what didn't I do?
Yeah.
So
Facts.
when people always ask me, how do you do? How can you be practicing law? Good people and great systems.
Yeah.
So, and I take it personal.
I know you do.
I don't want anybody to say they hired our law office and not be sure that we did our best. And if you say you went to my firm, oh, well, I didn't get the money. I said, well, tell me about your case. Well, there was only $10,000 of insurance. Okay.
And that.
So we got you the max, but we couldn't get you any more.
More.
No. Okay. Well, I'm sorry that the person didn't have insurance, enough of it. And I'm sorry you didn't have uninsured motorist. But normally what happens is after somebody gets in an accident and there's no insurance on the other side, they buy more insurance for themselves because in Florida, you're going to get screwed if you don't have your own. Sitting across me is a partner, Craig Lind, who I spend a significant amount of time arguing, griping, and trying to convince on a 24/7 basis that I'm right. Okay. AI.
Yeah.
Okay. Chicago has a law school that's banning laptops that have AI built into it.
What?
Yeah. And it's not even built
How
into
can
it. It's
you
any
ban
browser.
a laptop.
Yep. No laptops or phones in required first-year law classes. No internet available. No AI access. AI will still be taught later in the curriculum. School says the goal is to develop independent legal thinking first.
I am grateful that AI was not available for me during college and law school. I would have abused the hell out of it, and I would not have learned as much if that was available. I really believe that.
Are there good teachers?
They're great teachers.
Are there bad teachers?
They're bad teachers.
Okay.
And everything in between.
All right. Now, you and I both know we sat there for 3 years of a law school. Could we have passed the bar, immediately graduated law school?
Well, yeah,
No.
we did. What are you talking about?
No, I took a class. You read the books. You had to read the book.
Oh, I got you. Yes. That is true. You probably would not pass
Nope.
the bar exam.
You'd fail that mofo.
If you just went to law school
yes.
and did not do a bar prep course
Right.
prior to the test. That's probably true.
Now, hold on. Now, imagine
I could have just done the
all
bar
you
prep
did
course.
was the bar prep class.
Yes.
Okay.
If I had done nothing else other than just the bar prep class,
You could have
I
passed.
could have passed.
Absolutely.
The whole 3 years of law school.
Garbage.
I wouldn't say garbage.
Garbage.
But I think it is not necessarily to do anything other than weed out people who are not committed.
Yeah.
Like you have to have a certain level of
teach you to
commitment.
follow through. Teach you to follow through.
It just weeds people out, weeds people out.
But isn't that what you did when you got your first degree? Because you can't go to law school without getting your BA.
Yeah, but let's face it. I mean, just getting a 4-year degree now, that's standard.
You have to show up.
That's standard.
But you have to show up.
Yeah, but it's like high school. A 4-year degree now is like graduating high school in 1950.
No, I think that's commitment. You're on your own.
That's
You're
a
independent.
minimum requirement.
It's an independent thing. You're doing things alone. If you don't show up, they'll just fail you. Nobody's forcing you to be there. You're choosing to be there.
You can cherry pick your classes. Like in high school, you
had
pass
requirements.
History, you had to pass math. You had to
There's
pass
some basic
English.
requirements on most colleges.
Well, yeah, but you can get your credits any way that you can get them.
What I discovered was this: we would get the outlines from the year before.
Oh, from the students before us?
Yes,
I got plenty of those.
Okay, so they're arguing critical thinking. Well, I went to law school decades ago.
We had AI, except for AI wasn't AI. It was
an
Doug
outline.
Smith who booked that class the year before I got his outline. That was our version of AI.
Which was word for word what that teacher was going to say, including examples.
Yes.
I remember sitting there and I had a professor go, "Did you bring an outline to my class?"
You got specifically asked in class.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
Well, everyone else has it.
And he was like, I'm disrespecting him. I'm going, what's disrespectful? That you have not changed. That you have taught this class the same way for 7 damn years. Like the law doesn't change. Like you're just working a script.
Yeah, basic principles don't change.
But if you're,
I don't think
he
you
was
can blame
on
the professor.
Script.
Well, yeah,
he was like doing Hamlet every year.
Yeah, you need that though.
But then I don't need you.
There are certain things.
But I don't need you then. Just give me the outline.
Well, they can't charge you a lot of money
Booyah.
to go to law school.
Booyah.
If they just give you the outline.
That's what I'm talking about. Kids are lazy. They just are. And they cheat now in different ways where they have the AI running and the professor goes, put your hands up. And these are like Zoom classes. And the guy has his hands up, but they don't realize they're now working the computer with their heads. They're okay, go. And every time the guy says something, the AI is breaking down and answering the questions as this guy's asking the questions.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Hey.
But you're cheating yourself though. If you don't know how, that brings it back to your point where if I had just taken the bar prep course, I could have passed. That's true.
Just give me the answers. And they go, well, you can't figure out questions. And we're idiots. We have people who did graduate from fantastic colleges, and I have to listen to them talk. And I'm going, you're an idiot.
Oh, yeah.
You went to the critical thinking stuff. You had the best professors, and you're still an idiot. I think college does not make you smarter. It gives you information, and how you process that is how you process it.
A lot of people do this, Jeff. A lot of people will just equate education to intelligence, and it's not true.
No.
You and I know that better than anybody. How many times have we had depositions with doctors, physicists, chemists, all sorts of people, especially products liability, and oh my God, you're dumb. You're legit dumb. I don't care what your GPA was in college. You're just dumb.
Sometimes you get the license, you get the degree, you pass, and it has very little to do. And technology is going to be so good. And it's already there. There are law firms, for example, that have no paralegals and half the attorneys. They put the file into AI and the AI spits out what they think is going to happen. Even worse now, we used to do focus groups Now there are no focus groups. The AI is the focus group, and it breaks this stuff down, and it says, what emotional angles should you go? Do you have a female judge? Do you have a male judge? What is that person's politics? And it starts breaking this stuff down. And you've seen it in your depositions when you'll put 50 questions in, and it'll shoot out 50 questions for you.
Yep.
World's changing. World's already gone. Party's over.
Party's over.
Party's
it's already
over.
over.
Party's over. If you don't accept that these things are happening, our producer and I, we're creatives. We love to create stuff, and AI and ChatGPT and all the Claude and all this other stuff, we have to accept that that's the future. I mean, we redid a logo the other day. ChatGPT redid our logo in 20 seconds.
It looked better, didn't it?
And it looked good. And we you know what? We fidgeted with it. But I took a classic logo I said, make it look more supernatural and edgy. And it did. And it was good. And I was disgusted by it. There are comic books now that are completely written and produced and drawn.
How is the writing? Have you seen a book written by AI yet that you go, okay, this was, and like they're not trying to hide it. They're like, hey, here's a superhero.
No, they don't tell us, but you could tell.
Well, I'm interested in saying, hey, listen, here's one that was completely written by AI. Tell us what you think. Or read this, tell us if you like it, and then we'll let you know at the end of the story if a person wrote it or an AI bot wrote it. That I would love to see.
I've read the scripts. I've read the scripts, and they're not good because it's about the mistakes. It reminds me of when Pixar did the original stuff. What was that Christmas special with Tom Hanks? Polar Express. Yep. I hated that movie because they looked freaky because they were too perfect. They didn't have the mistakes.
Yeah.
There was like, wait, is this a robot? And it was weird. And it was, something that doesn't seem human. And the same thing with writing sometimes. I watch a lot of these weird Korean dramas late at night. And they're like these little clips. They put them on the internet, and they're like all the drama. It's ridiculous, but you could tell that they're written by AI, and there's no heart to it. And there are stereotypes, but there's no heart, and the heart is in the mistakes. Without the mistakes, it's too mathematically correct, and we recognize things that look too perfect, and that's the problem. But I do think there's some great things we can do with it. Like when we edit something, we take a piece of artwork and we edit the artwork.
Do you remember that song I wrote?
Yeah.
Using AI? I didn't write it all. I just said, here's the idea. Here's
do you believe
the concept.
You just said that? That song
this
I
kind
wrote?
of music. Yeah, the song I wrote.
The song I prompted.
That I asked ChatGPT to write for me. Actually, ChatGPT told me I can't write a song. Go to this place and it'll do the music. And you can either have it generate lyrics or I can generate lyrics. You generate lyrics. I'm going to take the lyrics over to this. It's great, dude.
Ask yourself how many.
The song was great. It would be on my playlist. If I just stumbled across that, I would go, oh, I really like that. I'm going to make that one of my favorites.
Now, when creatives talk about that and they talk about protecting things, when I see certain images on the screen now, digital images that used to they have 3,000 digital artists. Now you could have 20. And technology is constantly changing the way we do things. I mean, think of the typewriter. Oh, I made a mistake. Nobody said anything when the word processor came.
I remember my aunt doing that. That was her job. Yep. She typed on a typewriter for years.
Yeah. And think of the changes. Like stenographers. I listened to the stenographer gripe during a deposition the other day. I can't hear you. Yes, yelling. I'm going, I can hear him fine. And I have my AI watch. And I turn it on. And it records every word. And it breaks down the outlines. And I'm going, it very rarely makes a mistake. I mean, it's really good. And I've actually, you and I, I'm going to tell this story because I like when people are kind of douchey and they get caught being douchey. And we had somebody who denied that I said something. and I forgot that I was in the room with my AI watch, and I had just done a deposition, and I came in and I forgot I didn't turn it off. And I go, wait, I think I was running my watch. And there is the breakdown of everything. And I think Craig at that moment goes, you better take that watch off anytime you come in this office. And it wasn't Craig who made the mistake, for the record.
Who made the mistake? I don't remember. Was I there? Was I present for the mistake being made?
You were present. And
did I see the end product where you get to present?
Yeah, that's why you said I can't wear this watch no more.
Oh.
And but I had a marketing meeting the other day, and I turned the AI on during the marketing meeting. And afterwards, I was able to look it over. I go, okay, no, these were the agreements we made. This is why we did it. Okay, this is what they're saying they can do. Here's some of the information. How many times have you ever tried to take a photo of something going on at the time? Well, let me take a photo of that so I remember it. I don't have to do that anymore. Like, you're the worst at this.
I'm the worst at what?
You are the worst at what I'm right about to tell you. After you get off the phone, you spend 30 minutes typing the conversation you had.
Oh, I do that, yes.
Okay. AI will do that now for you.
Hmm.
I just saw an app the other day that dealt specifically with lawyers. And it said, once I got off the phone with the client, I was like, da, 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 and I used to spend 30 minutes. Now the AI is generating the stuff as I talk. I already have it. I'll send it to you tomorrow.
I need that.
I know.
Do you know how long I spend documenting the things that we said to each other on the phone?
Yep. And I looked at the piece of AI software that handles that for you. Hell, this little toy would. But I mean, they actually have stuff that hooks into the phone lines and will take care of that for you. Today, I have the privilege. It's ridiculous. With the movie that just came out, I have actor Michael Mando. Michael, can you hear me?
Yes. Thank you for having me, Jeff.
You are the Michael Caine of Canadian actors. Every time I turn around, you're in something, man.
I've never been called the Michael Caine of anything. I'll take that as a high honor.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Sir Michael Caine.
Dude, I can't. You're in Spider-Man. You're got Batman Nightfall coming up. You're in 72 Hours. What aren't you in, man?
You know, it's funny. I did not plan it that way. You know, the 72 Hours is the #1 streaming movie in the world right now. I think it's streaming in over 67 countries. Spider-Man is arguably one of the highest grossest films of all time. And I just feel incredibly grateful. It feels like I'm in everything, but to be honest with you, I've shot these projects over the past 3 years or 4 years, and I haven't had anything come out over the past 4 years. So it seems like everything's coming out at the same time, but these were shot. There was a lot of space between them.
Now, I mean, you were in Homecoming, but I mean, it was a smaller role. Did you think that, hey, from the first movie, and I'm going to be in the 4th movie, did that even compute to you? I'm still going to be around 4 movies from now.
No, I didn't. You know, I know the fans, especially, you know, from Voss when I played Far Cry 3, when I was in Far Cry 3, we did the full motion capture and the live action. It became a cult favorite. And that character was so iconic. And I know that the fan base is so strong. And I think these guys and the guys from Better Call Saul really wanted to see Scorpion back. I didn't think it was going to happen, so I really buried the idea. And I was really grateful when Marvel called back and said, hey, would you like to reprise the role? It was a really beautiful moment. And instantly my actor senses kicked in, and I said, well, we got to do this right.
Yep.
You know, we've got to honor the fans, and we can't, you know, we've got to be careful. And I'm glad I took that leap of faith. And I think we've proven that character has a tremendous amount of potential.
Yeah.
A beautiful backstory as a detective. It potentially becomes Venom. And this is just level 1. I think this character has at least 2 or 3 levels.
Now, how can I say it? I don't want to use the word ass backwards, but Far Cry 3, you get this opportunity and they go, well, we probably can't use it because your head doesn't fit the character and everything else like that. And they need something for, I believe, what, CES? They need for conventions. So they go, we need you again.
E3, the E3 convention.
Yeah, E3. And suddenly you're going, I now have a career because of motion capture and all this nonsense I did on a video game. I mean, how fortuitous is that?
You know, it's interesting, man. You look at your life in hindsight, and it feels unreal.
Yeah.
You know, I look at my life and it feels really surreal. Sometimes I I've been doing these podcasts and interviews, and I'm sharing parts of my life going, wow, like it sounds made up. And I think everyone's life sounds that way. And when I listen to my father's life or my brother's life, or I'm sure if we and I sat at a bar and I heard your stories, you look back in hindsight and you go, that's amazing how things seem to fit together in such a magical way. So maybe that's part of the human experience. I don't know. I'm just grateful and I feel responsible and I just want to continue doing my best and try to be as best of a person as I can be. It's challenging, but I definitely try my best all the time.
Now, I'm a father of my daughter's in her third year in theater school at college. And I always try to give her advice about, and the issue was, well, do you just go straight to acting or do you go to college? And a lot of people, I guess 95% of the actors, went straight into it. Now, you went the other route. You went to college. What do you think the pros were for you going to college and not just going straight into acting?
That's an interesting question. It's almost like it has a bit of a what kind of life advice would you give a young person?
Yeah.
Uh, um, Follow your intuition. Nobody knows what is inside of you more than you. And we spend so much time trying to convince others to see what is inside of us, as opposed to trusting ourselves that what we feel can materialize. So that is a very difficult thing to do. As Joseph Campbell puts it and Carl Jung, at some point you have to break away from the herd and find yourself in order before you can come back. I would tell young people, listen to your intuition. Um, Trust what you feel, but before your intuition is super well developed, and that we all struggle with it, no matter how young or old or experienced you are, listen to people around you that love you, but ultimately at the end of the day, it's your life and you should follow your intuition. um, that's as much as I can say. We're all, I can give specific advice if someone says this or that, but again, any advice that I would give might not apply to that person because I'm not looking at the world and existence through their particular unique eyes. So it's tough to give general advice.
No, I get it. It's hard for me as a father. I mean, I've been a stand-up. I've been an attorney. I do this show. I write comic books. And it's so hard to give advice to people when they go, well, how do I start? And I said, you got to find out what's comfortable for you. And
Yeah, I mean, look, going to school at a young age is not a bad thing if you're learning. And I learned so much in theater school. I would not have changed that for the world. I learned about blocking and Shakespeare and classical texts and Ibsen, and it was just I don't think I would have learned any of that by myself. I wouldn't have known where to start. It gave me a really great foundation, and the theater, I think, is a really good place to start as an actor because it gives you a sense of an audience, a live audience. In film, there is no audience.
nope.
Nobody on stage is really, people are holding their mic focused on the camera and then they move on and you don't really know. You don't have a sense of what you did. So the theater is a great place to start, but then there's a lot of film actors that never did theater. So to each their own, right?
Yeah, no, I absolutely support that. And I think this is a great segue to be able to say, I'm certain you have an Instagram page where people can ask you for this advice. So I believe the Instagram page is at Michael Mando.
Michael Mando, yes. I have an Instagram page and I'm doing an AMA tomorrow where people can ask me anything they'd like at noon Eastern time on our movies. And then, yeah, I'm always happy to help people, especially younger people.
All right. Now, hold on. I know Spider-Man is the hot thing. I'm wearing my Super X Spider-Man hoodie today to honor you. Um,
Thank you.
what cuts me up is you do villains so well, and some of your villains are kind of like anti-villains, like the in Just Call Saul. You play it's a villain, but you're conflicted, which I love the conflicted villain.
Yeah, you look for the humanity, you know. I don't think you think of them as good or bad. I'm always interested in marginalized characters, psychologically layered characters. I'm always interested in, you know, challenging the status quo, and going like, all right, this is what everyone thinks this is. Who is going to challenge that? It takes a lot of courage to raise your hand and say, I want to, I want to challenge that. And essentially, that's what the antagonist does is he goes, all right, here's the world how it works. Here are the people that are not being represented, and here's what they have to say. I love that point of view. Moving forward in this second part of my career, I think I'm interested in playing protagonists who also challenge the status quo. So I think it's just the flip side of the same coin. But I've loved exploring those palettes, and I think now it's time to move into the protagonist of it all.
Now, following another actor who has portrayed a character can be tough because you don't know what you're taking from it. I mean, for example, you're playing Bane, and it's a voice actor, but you're doing Bane in Batman Nightfall. You know, do you even take any of that? Do you even go, well, I'm not even going to listen to what somebody else did before. I'm going to just try to get my own take and fit it in.
I mean, I'm not afraid of listening and seeing what other people did before me. I think you've got to approach it with an open heart and not let your ego paralyze you and you know create all these barriers for yourself because I think that that more exposes a sense of fragility. So I'm not afraid of looking what other people did, but ultimately, I treat it as a very subjective experience. The idea was to for us to treat it as a completely new character and just do it our way and to give something new and fresh to the character. Um, that's always my approach with everything I do. I certainly never want to imitate anybody else because I think the best thing you could be is yourself. It's the only thing you could be that no one can take away from you.
This is a tough topic because nothing upsets fans more when an actor who's portraying one of their comic book characters or a character they're very close to in a book says, I didn't read the original source material because I didn't want to screw up my performance or I didn't want it to affect my performance. And now you're playing, you got the Scorpion and Bane. Did you go back to any of the original books and go, okay, let me see why the fans love this character?
Absolutely. I mean, I love those
Yeah.
characters and I am a fan. I think there is no division between the fan base and myself. I am part of the fans. You know, I don't see the fans as other than me. I was a kid and I watched those
Yeah.
cartoons and I have a sense of ownership of them as much as any other fan, you know. And I love these comic book community. I think they're the kindest community I've ever been a part of. I'm talking about the Comic-Con
Yeah.
community. You know, they're so kind, so inclusive, so welcoming, so accepting of each other. And I mean, Matt Gargan's Venom is arguably my favorite Marvel character. As a kid, I was fascinated by the tongue and the white, you know, design on the
Yep.
black suit and his huge muscles. And Bane is a fantastic character in the sense that he outsmarts Batman, who is arguably the smartest superhero character in any universe. He's next to Sherlock Holmes. He's probably the greatest detectives in literature. So I take these two characters with a lot of inner fan joy
Yep.
and responsibility, and by the response of the fans, they want more Scorpion. It's all over, you know, everything I've ever posted or the internet, and I'm grateful for it, and I love them, and I love that they see the potential in this character.
I'm taking 5 people tonight to Spider-Man because I might, you got to see, go to the premieres and everything, but I was at Comic-Con signing books, so I didn't get to catch, Spider-Man the way I wanted to, which would normally be the premiere or everything like that. But I mean, how unbelievable is it for you that it's going to hit 1 billion in 7, 8 days?
I'm grateful. You know, I'm really grateful to be in the number one streaming movie in the world, 72 hours, and in the number one theater film that is arguably potentially the biggest grossing film of all time. I don't know what I've done to deserve this, to be a part of these things. No one really knows. No one can predict the cards we're dealt. But I'm grateful. I work really, really hard, but even that is not enough because I know a lot of people work really, really hard who don't get these opportunities. So all I can do is work harder, work smarter, be kinder to people, remind myself that I'm lucky, and try as hard as I can to be the best person I can be because I'm in a position that is lucky. And that's a challenge that we all go through, and I hope that I hope that I only become better at it. I think that's the best way I can sum it up.
You mentioned something to me earlier about now I want to be the protagonist, which is basically I'm in a position
Not that
now.
now I want to be the present, but I feel like I've
Right.
done that. So I don't want to repeat myself too
It's okay
much,
to
you know?
want that. There's nothing wrong with wanting it. Nobody's going to be
Yeah,
the
no, but I
internet's
love.
going to
I
not
mean,
going to lose
I don't
their
want to take
mind.
away. I think I don't want to take away from what I've done. I love what I've done.
No,
I just
you've been
feel
a
like I
villain for
want.
a lot. You played a lot of villains, and
Yeah.
there's range. There are a lot of actors who go, I don't want to be typecast and just as I'm the villain in all these things. There's
Mm.
nothing wrong with that. And I guess where I'm going is how careful do you have to be when you're choosing roles now? Now roles are coming to you. Now your managers are calling a little more, hey, I got this shot. I got this shot. Now you've done all these great things now. The path you've been on is amazing. How tough is it now for you to go, okay, I'll get paid more, but this one might be more helpful? I mean, there's a lot of movement here and a lot of guidance that is a little scary.
It it's a really interesting place to be. I've never thought of these characters as villains. I've always thought of them as marginalized, as characters that had the courage to break away from the herd and challenge the status quo. And I've always looked at them as very psychologically layered, and I've always looked at them as arguably the hardest assignment in the cast. You not and let's be careful. I'm not saying my characters are the hardest characters to play. I'm not saying that at all. So please don't quote that. But I always found them as part of the hardest characters to
Yeah,
play
villains
are
are hard.
because you've got to find their humanity when the page and the thesis of the movie is pushing against you, and you got to push back and say, I'm a human being too, kind of thing. But now I'm in a place in my career where there's a lot of scripts coming, a lot of offers coming. Surprisingly, they're mostly for leads. So they are protagonists. So I'm happy that the industry sees me that way. I think now it's just about, the next 2, 3 movies that I make are going to help set the tone. And you're right, it is a bit of a challenging. As you can tell, I'm my answer is not very concise because I'm still figuring it
It
out.
doesn't have to
I
be, man.
I have a villainous role, one more that's coming out where I play a crooked cop, but I shot that about 3 years, 4 years ago. But other than that, it's Gundam is not that kind of character, and hopefully we'll move away from that, and then maybe come back to it as well. I'm not if a great role came again, as you can see, I'm rambling a little bit because I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't have.
Listen, that's absolutely cool to be. You are in a position now that you worked very hard to get into and that you're being interviewed and people are asking you about the future. It's an amazing place to be. So of course you're going to be a little, well, hey, yeah, this is pretty cool.
You know what? Here's a note that I'm going to put to my future self. Michael, follow your intuition. Do not follow a formula. There,
I like that.
I'm putting that into the universe. Yeah.
Now, agent calls you up and says, hey, we have this rom-com. Do you go, hold on. I don't know. I have range, but, I don't know if I want to go straight into pay me and we'll put out this movie.
I think, again, follow your intuition, 72 Hours came and they said, do you want to do a comedy before going to shoot Spider-Man? You have a small window. Sony will make it and will make it work for you schedule-wise where you can go and come back. And my intuition said have a meeting with the director. before you answer anything.
Yep.
I spoke to Tim's story and I said, hey, Tim, listen, what about blue contact lenses and fangs and tattoos? And he's dressed like this. And there's a tattoo on his eyebrow that says, I forgive you. And Tim just smiled and laughed and said, yes. And my intuition immediately said, do it. This is good. Do it. So you got to follow your intuition. It all depends on the circumstances. I can tell you what I like. I like complex sci-fi.
Yep.
Sci-fi is probably my favorite genre. I love a psychological thriller. I love a great detective story like Seven.
Yep.
I love a Gladiator. The first Gladiator is one of my favorite films of all time. I love movies like The Matrix. I like vampire movies, potential horror films. In the DC comics, I really like Red Hood.
Ooh, Jason Todd.
Yeah, I like The Crow, the Brandon Lee films. So I love Denis Villeneuve. I love Christopher Nolan. I love Ridley Scott. I love so many incredible directors. So that's where my mind is. But we'll see. We'll see what comes my way.
Well, I can't tell you. I've loved this interview. I really looked forward to it. Let's give the Instagram again. It's at Michael Mando. Good luck, and I can't wait to see you in everything, all right?
Oh, you're awesome, man. God bless you. Thank you.
Man. This show is sponsored by Copenland. If you or someone you know has been in an accident, contact us at 407-500-JEFF or 407-500-5333 for a free consultation, or visit us at whenyouneedus.com.